It's around this time every single year that a few NFL free agents still have yet to call a team home. And the media comes out and says, hey, ding-dongs, there's like 8 or 9 of these players still looking to find their team in 2025. So that's what we're talking about on today's Bills Breakdown episode by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. Welcome into the program today. Now, you guys know who this guy is. Mr. Bowen, who spent his time in Buffalo. He's now working for ESPN, and he's actually the one that wrote this article. Now, in this article, he lists the top remaining players. He then goes on to say what their best landing spots would be based off of team needs and best fits. And wouldn't you know it, the Bills make the very top of the list. Well, okay, if we're arguing semantics, not the very top, but second highest, with Julian Blackmon being listed as the player that would fit the Bills' defense the very best in 2025. Former Bill, by the way, Amari Cooper, is best slated to go to the Jets, which I find absolutely hysterical. That's where wide receivers and quarterbacks go to die. But here is what Bowen had to say about Blackmon, the player. Blackmon's skill set fits with the foundational split field coverages in Buffalo's defensive system. Now, what does that necessarily mean? It's a lot of jargon, about what Sean McDermott runs as his defensive strategy, but it goes on to highlight that not only is Blackmon a player of high enough caliber in terms of his skill and productivity, but he does have the ability to make plays on the football. So you're getting a player who has some injury concerns, and we'll touch on that here in just a second, but also a player that can give you really good production if he were to stay healthy. Now, before we deep dive on Julian Blackmon, the player, by the way, the May sub record is continually being set because back in 2024, this channel didn't exist. So you couldn't have any subscribers. Right now, we've got 446. So new Bills fans of the channel that have not locked us in yet as one of the best Bills YouTube places to be, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is completely free. And do me a favor, throw a thumbs up on the video as well. Okay, Mr. Blackmon, let's talk about him. Third round pick out of Utah back in 2020, and he lit the NFL world on fire when he came in. Now, that rookie season, he was electric. Then he tore his Achilles during the 2021 season, and that's always a really scary injury for any professional athlete. Football players, it's really, really tough. Football and basketball are the ones that, it's really tough to come back from. Now, has that necessarily translated to a downfall in his production on the field? It's hard to say. You can't really be the judge of that because his numbers are still decent. In 2024, these are okay. Solid caliber starting safety right there. But if you notice what I had put on that player card right before, his little bio, he missed 15 tackles. So there seems to be an element of fear. And maybe not fear of tackling, but subconsciously something tells me that Blackmon's afraid to get that type of injury again. And what's the one thing that happens when players don't want another serious injury? They play less physical. They opt for more skill. So they work on their technique, not their physicality. They don't throw their body weight into opposing defenders. They opt for more coverage skill, which we saw his coverage grade was actually pretty good at 69.3. Okay, it's all right. It's starting caliber. But those 15 missed tackles, there's obviously something in the water right there. And the Bills' safety room right now could use another safety. Right now, your starting free safety is Damar Hamlin. And as much as he's been a fan favorite in Buffalo, let's not kid ourselves. There are plenty of better options that you could go with over Damar Hamlin. And here's the sad reality for Bills fans. And again, I'm not going to be all sunshine and rainbows on this channel. I'm going to give you the truth. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Blackmon's an upgrade over Damar Hamlin. It's not a huge upgrade. We're talking inches, not feet, but he is an upgrade. Now, the real question becomes, do you sign Blackmon to take over the starting spot, and how does he compare to what you already have? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. These numbers aren't crazy dissimilar, right? They're almost identical, actually. The only difference, and I mentioned it previously, is that coverage grade really skyrocketed Julian Blackmon's PFF total grade. Damar's wasn't very good. Now, again, fan favorite, had the cardiac arrest back a couple of seasons ago. Very scary moment. Almost died on field. That's literally what happened. You guys remember it. And that's kind of why I believe that Damar Hamlin was brought back on his 1-year deal. It was not because he's an unbelievable safety. He's an all right safety, but a safety that has captured the hearts of Buffalo. And that's why you brought him back. So now that we're a couple of years removed, the question should become, is it time to move past that and find someone that's better? Or do you look at these numbers and say, we should just ride it out with Demar? I don't know the answer to that. I'm not Sean McDermott. I'm not Brandon Beane. But here's what I can tell you. If those numbers, if you were to put me in that Bills GM room and I were to look at those side by side and I would say, numbers aren't too, crazy dissimilar. It all comes down to one thing. Money. What's it going to cost? And if Blackmon is commanding a higher price, I'd go with the cheaper option. Why would you pay the extra amount of money, the extra $2 to $3 million a year, for a player that's only slightly better in production? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'll ask you this. Should the Bills sign Julian Blackmon? Yes or no? I'm kind of indifferent on this, but I'm going to step into the Bills GM room once more, and I'm going to say I don't think the Bills are interested. For those reasons that I just listed, if Blackmon is still holding out because he wants a better contract, why would you pay him more money when you're getting a very similar product? And as I again stated, Demar has captured the hearts of Buffalo. He actually talked about his 2024 production, and here's what he said. Last year, I felt like I was getting the training wheels off for myself in a way. Just coming back from literally dying on the field, that's kind of funny, to playing, not funny, but funny that he mentioned that. God, out of context, that sounds terrible. A starting role playing a full season, again, for the first time, just feeling myself out. Okay, all jokes aside, the Bills prioritized the defensive line in both the draft and free agency. The only real move that they made that was of note in the secondary was re-signing Christian Benford. So, to me, I look at this and I say, the Bills probably see Blackmon, they see Hamlin, they say, similar player, Damar's cheaper, fan favorite in Buffalo. We have no interest in going out and signing Julian Blackmon. Now, is that going to hurt the Bills? Who's to say? I can tell you this, though. ESPN recently came out with their 2025 projections. Mike Clay is the reporter that came out and actually, dropped this entire PDF that's 30-something pages long. And he actually has the Bills projected as the 15th ranked defense, which is in the top half, which is good, but it's not great. A top 15 defense is that going to win you a Super Bowl? Again, all these questions have to be answered. So could there be another move made in the Bills secondary? Sure. But drafting Maxwell Hairston showed me they valued going younger and cheaper at the position. And if they're valuing going younger and cheaper at the position at corner, the same would then apply to their safety room. Maybe not younger, but definitely still cheaper. Now, before I end today's episode, I got to ask you, because ESPN came out and they said 15. What do you have the Bills defense finishing? I think 15's a little low. I think with the additions that they made back in free agency and through the draft, grabbing guys like Bosa, drafting guys like TJ Sanders, I think the Bills defense is going to be pretty good. I'm going to say 12, 11 or 12. And that feels like the right spot. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for joining us, Bills Mafia, on today's episode. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and share this with a Bills fan in your life. We're trying to grow this channel to the very best of its ability. Take two. Ability. My name's Moose. Until next time, be cool.